I've been running my clothing brand for close to 7 years now, and there are these things that come up, these realizations that I have, or technical things that I figure out, where I think to myself, man, wouldn't that have been nice to know before I started up my clothing brand? It literally would have saved me years of wasted time, years of making mistakes and struggling through this stuff. So what I want to share with you are 10 things that I wish I knew before starting my clothing brand, and I really think that this is going to be a powerful shortcut for you. So enjoy. Apparel Success is sponsored by my buds over at BrandCrowd. BrandCrowd is a logo maker tool. You type in the name of the logo that you want to have made, hit enter, thousands of logos will come up. You choose the logo that you like, then you can edit and refine that logo as long as you want for free until it's perfect for you. This is a Hundo P design I had made for my own clothing brand using BrandCrowd. If you're interested, head over to brandcrowd.com/apparel success and you can get 66% off at checkout. Okay, so here are 10 things that I wish I knew before I started up my clothing brand. Number 1 is that advertising is okay, and it's not the devil. When I first started up my brand, for the first 2 or 3 years, I had this huge anti-advertising philosophy, and all of the sales that I made for my clothing brand had to come in organically without spending any money. And what I realized from investing in ads, investing in TikTok ads, and watching how my mentor works is that investing in advertising, investing in getting your brand out there is a huge unlock to scaling your brand to a whole other level. So I wish I could go back in time to those first couple of years and tell myself, it's okay to invest in ads. It's okay to make sales by spending money on ads to get your brand out there, because relying solely on organic traffic is very volatile. You never really know how things are going to pop and how things are going to go, and spending money on some ads is okay. You can just learn it and get better at it. The second thing I wish I knew before I started up my clothing brand is that not every single one of the products that you release has to be a home run. Not every product that you release is going to get the same sales and the same amount of interest as the other products that you release. There's a principle called the Pareto principle, or the Pareto distribution. And this is a universal principle that says that 80% of your results will come from 20% of your efforts. So if you look at my YouTube channel, 20% of the videos get most of the views on the channel and bring in most of my new subscribers. The other 80% of my videos, the people who really watch my content will watch that stuff, but they don't really hit and go viral and take off as much as 20% of the videos do. And it's going to be the same thing with your clothing brand. You're going to have some products that absolutely smash, that crush, and are a huge interest for your audience and for your market. Then you're going to have other products that kind of sell, but they don't sell as well. So not every single product that you release has to be a 10 out of 10 in terms of sales. You can release some products that just don't get as many sales as the others and still have a successful clothing brand. The third thing that I wish I knew before I started, and this one would have saved me so much time, is that connection and authenticity with your audience is way more important than editing and production value. I used to spend so much time taking pictures and going out and doing these intense photo shoots and spending so much time editing videos and thinking that the more time that I put into the production value, the more time that I put into the editing of the ad, of the photo, the better results it's going to get. And that's just absolutely not true. Some of the best performing ads that I've ever shared for my clothing brand literally took me 2 seconds. I laid a hoodie down on a table, folded it really nice, took a picture really casually with maybe some text that connected with my audience, and just that was amazing, and it did really well, and it's because it looked a little bit more raw, it looked a little bit more real. And so you don't need to put in crazy production value. It's way more important that you're just connecting with your audience and you're resonating with them. The fourth thing I wish I knew before I started is that opinions from your friends and family don't really matter at all when it comes to your clothing brand. Unless they've grown a successful clothing brand before, and unless they know anything about this entrepreneurial world and how to do this, then you can just sort of take their opinions as much as you want. And maybe you have some friends and family that you really, value their advice. That's cool too. But if people are giving you advice and telling you how to do things, for the most part, it's going to be wrong, and you don't need to listen to it. Trust yourself. Trust your own instinct. You're doing this for a reason, and you have good intuition. Trust yourself and you'll get much better results doing that. The fifth thing that I wish I knew before I started is that it's okay to struggle bad the first couple of years growing your brand. Anything that you start for the first time, you're going to struggle bad when you're first learning it. And it takes time. And the way that you're going to get better at this is by making mistakes. It's by screwing up, struggling bad, having to problem solve, having to struggle through these things. So it's all a part of the process. Don't view that as a bad thing. View it as being a part of the journey to inevitably getting to where you want to go. The sixth thing I wish I knew before I started is that the name of your clothing brand really, truly does matter. And this is something where if you were to go back in time and look at some of my older videos, you may hear me say things like, the name of your brand doesn't matter. It's all about social proof and getting people to wear your brand and showcasing that. And as much as there's truth to the power of having people wear your brand and social proof, the name of your brand really matters and it creates an effect. The reason that I bring this one up is because my clothing brand, K-Bud, has a minor pronunciation barrier. And if I'd known this from the beginning, I probably would have spelt my clothing brand's name slightly differently. The reason why we spelt it with Bud, spelt B-A-H-D, is because in Canada, it's like Canadian slang here, and we draw out the way we say Bud. It's like, Bud, what's up, Bud? K-Bud. And at the time, it was just like kind of clever and ridiculous. But for some people, it's a reason why they buy the brand. They find it kind of ridiculous and hilarious that we spell it that way. And for others, they struggle to understand it at first. And I just would have changed that probably if I could have known that from the beginning. The seventh thing that I wish I knew before I started is that your business is a direct reflection of you. How smart you are, how hard you work, how much effort you put into this, how many skills you have. Personal development has a huge effect on your results for your clothing brand, and improving yourself, improving the way that you run your day, even something as small as the way that you're eating will allow you to think clearer, and the way that you're spending your time, chunking time to actually focus on problems and work them through, that's going to have profound effects that you're getting in your brand, because your brand doesn't just run itself, you're running your brand. And so the brand that you create is literally a direct reflection of you. And in those first few years, I didn't take that as seriously as I do now. The eighth thing I wish I knew before I started is that people don't really need clothing. Most people have enough money to be able to afford clothing that shelters their bodies at like a thrift store. The four main reasons why people buy clothing is number one, aesthetic. How do the designs look and how does the clothing actually look on the body? Status. How does it make you look amongst your friends in terms of your status? Emotion, what does it make you feel? Maybe your brand represents something that they're passionate about. And number four, maybe your brand has utility value in the sense that maybe it's a ski jacket with a pocket that they really need. Once you understand that, you can design your clothing brand and build your clothing brand to be so much more effective and offer so much more value. And I wish I knew those four reasons why people buy clothing when I first started. The ninth thing I wish I knew before I started is that even though I talk on this channel about how long it can take to grow a brand, I wish I knew just how quickly you can also scale things up. Once you really start to get the ball rolling and you start selling to people that you don't know and they're showing real interest, you start getting your first hundreds, thousands of sales. Take that data and create lookalike audiences on Facebook ads and on TikTok ads with it. And that'll allow you to get in front of more people just like them with the data that you're utilizing from people who are buying from you. And you can really scale things up pretty quickly once you first get that initial spark for your brand. And the last thing that I wish I knew before I started is that you can schedule pickups for your orders that you're packing and sending out. You don't have to carry them by hand to your local post office. FedEx, Purolator, UPS, Canada Post, they'll come pick up your orders from you. And I was doing that for like years, just taking it in, carrying it to my car, carrying it in. And I just wish I'd known from the beginning that you could actually schedule these people to come to your place and pick them up. It would have saved me so much time. I know a lot of you already know that, but that's the last one. If you got a lot of value out of this video, smoke that like button for me. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments below. And if you haven't already, check out my free clothing brand marketing masterclass. All you have to do to get access is go to apparelsuccess.com/masterclass. Go watch the whole thing for free. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.